P.S. This guy got worn like a sock, and in his mind, that's why all this happened.
Bo.
All right, let's figure out what the fuck we're doing here.
All right.
Do you want it to have the same feel in the beginning, or do you want to? This is our chance to try and have a new feel.
Should we do copyright-free Safari music?
We can try and find, like, that's the part where I don't know necessarily what we can. We have an open canvas. It's testing. We don't got to get it right now, but we can brainstorm now.
I say we just start it like regular since we have a time crunch.
Do you want the same? We're not really into it. Rich can sit in the back for 2 seconds. He invited himself over. Do you want the same zeitgeist of Vampire King, King Possum, Lord Meerkat? Honestly, it makes more sense now.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
You don't want?
No,
any
I
of
don't
that?
want any of that to leave.
Oh, okay. All right. So same intro.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Patreon test episode of the Modern Apes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Bridgegate, live from Fuck the Mescal Manor. We're going to call it some jungly themed fun something. But for right now, sitting to my right, as always, the Vampire King, King Possum, Lord Meerkat, one of the apes. It's Tristan Bowling.
Mushy mushy and
Someone's going to have a problem with this. And look, hey, the topic for this week, we thought it'd be fun to start out
So
with.
let's frame what this podcast is. Basically, we are telling stories about the modern ape, the man, the human, the homunculus.
It's hilariously true stories about, some of the most advanced and degenerative apes, humans of all time.
It's insane the drop off between like actual primate ape level and just the dumbest man of all time because it's just a scotch.
Well, especially wrestlers too. Turns out those guys don't know how to turn off the wrestling at times.
Oh, yeah?
All right, here we go.
I was about to say, so we both present stories on the same topic, and most of you guys know we have very different views on stuff. So we found two completely different people that we're going to talk about.
So, but
Daniel
before we get into that,
insisted on going first.
Before we get into that, let me fucking just ask you about WWE in general. What is your tie to this? Like, did you watch it at all growing up?
Loosely.
Who was your favorite guy?
I always liked. I always called him Person Gravedigger, the Undertaker.
Oh yeah, the Undertaker.
He's basically the man version of a monster truck.
It was either him. That's what I had written down. It was either him or Kofi Kingston, which is kind of the what do you call it? Like the rock in a hard place. It is my life. On the inside, I do feel like an emo, pasty skinned fucking.
Yeah.
But on the outside, I'm a weirdly eccentric. He had a fake Jamaican accent.
What about Dwayne The Rock Johnson at a Vin Diesel house party? Talk about a rock in a hard place.
That's fucking stupid. If you fucking smell. You know what? I take it back. Mine was Triple H, and it makes a lot of sense now. I liked the whole like king aesthetic, the king of kings.
I promise you, when The Rock eventually washes up and he's all done with everything, he's going to open some sort of terracotta Hawaiian themed restaurants, and the slogan is "Smell what The Rock is cooking."
Oh, you think he's gonna fully buff it out?
Dude.
Oh my God, I could totally see
Rock
the
Burger in Paradise.
Bro, having just a Terramana burger in Times Square. And it's just 7 stories. They overtake the Buffett. They're like, it's like they're changing rides at Disney World. They're
like, for real.
Not only the old people appreciate the
it's
Buffett.
It's now Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yeah, it's now the Rock's black ass burger place.
Don't go to the gift shop. All the deodorants are locked up.
Yeah. My original wrestler that I was going to do today, I was going to do Mark Henry. Do you know who that is?
No.
Mark Henry is this
steel driving man.
No, he's legitimately the strongest man in the world. So I actually went and did a little bit of research on Mark Henry. For those of you who are like wrestling fans, Mark Henry's the shit. He was the legitimate strongest man in the world
at one point
in 2002.
Oh, fuck.
Won the strongest man contest. Like I actually took some fucking research. His theme song, by the way, it's doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just somebody gonna get the ass kicked over and over again. He just walks out slow as hell. This dude is 6'4". 350 pounds. Get this. He won the world's strongest man in 2002. He competed in his first one at fucking 19. He's out there with grown people. These are his maxes. At his fucking peak, right?
What year was this?
I think the number he hit, these are kind of spread out, but it was like the mid 2000s. He squatted 980 pounds.
Okay.
Benched 601. Deadlifted 903 pounds. Clean and jerked fucking 500. But you know what a clean and jerk is?
Yeah, where you go, yeah.
Lifted fucking basically 3 people above his head and then just straight up snatched 400. So like.
I thought you were going to say like straight up ate a guy. He ate an entire man for protein.
Well, he got kicked out of the WWE for a sec because when he first got brought in, you know who Shawn Michaels is? They think I'm cute. They think I'm sexy. Well, this nigga thought he was a little cute, and Mark Henry broke his ankle, and they kept hiding his crutches. So
I remember seeing that.
They kept hiding his crutches. So one day they fucking hid his crutches, And this dude came back and he found it and he goes, hey, just so you know, when I get healed, I'm gonna kill you. And just said it very just not like I'm gonna kill all y'all niggas. And just said it like that. And then they went and snitched to Vince McMahon, had this nigga shipped off to Canada where he had to wrestle for like 2 years until he eventually got to come back. But that's why I didn't stick with Mark Henry, because that's about as crazy as it gets. Turned out he's a great person. Turned out to be like a Christian preacher.
My guy hearing this now, and you're like, I didn't go anything past that because it gets too crazy. I'm like, fuck, my guy sounds like kind of a stool pigeon.
No. I'm saying this isn't the guy that I went with.
But I'm saying if your guy's crazier than my guy, I don't know if I did a great one.
No. I also think
I think I did a great one, as in the man is great, but at the same time, I feel like not that much crazy stuff has happened to him.
No,
but I wrote a lot.
Well, we'll get to that.
Well, let's hear your guy.
Well, I wanted to start off before we get to the guys. I wanted to go through like how we tie into each other, like how the topic even relates to either of us. Like, did you watch wrestling? Was it your thing? Yada, yada.
This derives from both of us watching Netflix WWE.
WWE wrestling's hot right now.
Wrestling's hot.
Everyone's back. Hulk Hogan got
Mondays
booed
for
out.
the Rumble, dude.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan got booed out the ass. Turns out you're fucking, I am a real American who voted for Trump and lost my overprivileges. Turns out all you got to do is vote for Don T to become a heel in modern wrestling.
Yeah.
And then I thought it'd be fun to have some fun facts. So I did some researching. First, did you know that the WWE is the second largest consumer of baby oil in the world?
First is Diddy.
Behind Sean Combs. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And the second one, John Cena has a pinfall loss to Kevin Federline.
What? Define a pinfall loss.
It's just where you get pinned, like a 1, 2, 3. But they had like the WWE usually like mirrors society pretty good, and they do a good job of bringing in celebrities.
This is when Federline was
when
H-O-T.
Federline
hot.
was. You know how hot you got to be to.
It feels cold at first, and then you're like, "Oh my god!"
He pinned 05 John Cena. Most niggas couldn't even see him.
Yeah,
Kevin Federline came.
Yeah,
put his
Kevin
toes to
Federline
Jesus.
come in, wore night vision goggles, took out Cena.
See, and this is where I think once we get in the fun studio, I think it'd be.
I think Kevin Federline's Predator. He saw him with heat vision.
Dude, all I gotta say is like, I think Brittany was full of shit then. If Kevin Federline can pin John Cena, I don't believe anything that crazy bitch was saying. People didn't know who that was. I work with niggas and I was like running this by him and I was like, did you know that Kevin Federline pinned? I've never sounded like more of a virgin. Do you know that Kevin Federline pinned John Cena? And they go, who is Kevin Federline?
Does he work with Mr. Beast?
I was like, Kevin Federline was like the biggest. I don't even know what Kevin Federline was.
Yeah, he was something. I guess he did a thing. I don't know.
He fucked Britney, I think, and they have kids.
He wore loose blue jeans in the early 2000s.
He was slightly less crazy than Britney Spears at her craziest, which made him look completely normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Kevin Federline. So that was my fun facts.
That is fun facts.
Did you come with any fun facts?
My fun facts are all within the confines of my own story.
Okay, that's where your fun facts are at.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's fun facts about my guy.
Interesting. All right, here. Well, I'll start my tale then, because this is fucking,
Begin your tale.
Because this.
So, are you starting off your tale with that insane video from that old boy?
No, so
he has the haircut of a boy, but on the face of a grumpy old frog man.
He just looks like a better Charles Manson now. He just looks like if Charles Manson took care of himself.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Is
Charles Manson
alive?
had no, he died.
Okay. All right, so this dude's name is Billy Jack Haynes.
Billy Jack Haynes.
This dude wrestled from 1982 to 1996. He only wrestled in the WWE though for 2 years because he was too much of a fucking bad boy.
And this is an Attitude Era, is it?
No, this is before the Attitude
He was
Era.
bringing the Attitude Era.
This is a 19. Like it says he retired in 1996, but I did a little bit more digging, and he was already out of the WWE by the 90s. So he was too edgy for 1980s steroid cocaine wrestling.
Yeah, Vince McMahon was trying to fuck his own daughter. You're like, it's good for the story.
he's fucking sodomizing Shawn Michaels, and he's like, "No, you got to go, Billy. You got to get the fuck, get the fuck out of here."
This guy is a loose wire.
He did change his name. The name that he ended with was Black Blood. That was the
fuck. Is he a pirate? That sounds crazy.
No,
dude.
his gimmick was just unhinged. That was his gimmick.
His gimmick was like, I'm gonna hurt myself and then hurt you.
Pretty much. I'm going to hurt myself first, make you uncomfortable by watching them beat the shit out of you with my own calcified blood.
Stop!
It's like, Jesus, all right. So this dude was born in 1953 in Portland, Oregon. This motherfucker's a big son bitch, right? He's 6'3", 250. He's also, this ties into kind of the whole story. he helped spearhead. There was a class action lawsuit that started. I don't know the exact year that it started, but it ended when it got dropped in 2016. Suspiciously, there was a class action CTE lawsuit against the WWE, and this nigga was spearheading it with a bunch of other people. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, who famously murked the fuck out of his wife in like 1990 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
killed the shit out of her, and then just got away with it.
Yeah,
he was like, yeah, she slipped and fell in the shower.
OJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the old slip and fall. Anyway, I got to go hit the Haktana at 7.
Yeah.
Like, all right. But so okay, he clearly has a little bit of head trauma. Hurt himself from time to time. Spearheaded the CTE movement. Now, this fool, he was married. He was married 4 times. All right.
Tight.
I thought it was interesting. None of these ladies ever took his last name.
They don't want anything to do with it.
Neither. Not even.
What's
like,
his last name again?
Haynes.
Haynes?
Yeah, so it's not even like you have to change it to like Malakala. It's just fucking Haynes. And they were like,
Maybe the underwear brand was around and it was too embarrassing.
well, he spells it different.
What am I supposed to mean? Bethany Fruit of the Loom?
Fruit of the you look like a fruit of there's not even a cornucopia.
How could I show my face at the garden club? I like how he's marrying just like this brutal fucking wrestler is marrying just Cockney British women. Posh women, British women.
Just hearing a lady say swanton bomb.
Yeah. Excuse me, have you hid the soup spoons? You're just like, I ate a man.
Well, okay, this is where the shit gets crazy, right? Because he was married 4 times. None of them ever took his last name. Listen to this run. The first one, he got married in 1983, ended the marriage in 1984. You're young, maybe the first one doesn't work out, whatever. Love you, babe, totally will. And but then the second time he got married, he waited about 10 years. Got married in 1994. I should have this lady's name down. To a Latina lady.
Damn.
I think that's what broke him. And then he got divorced from her.
Yeah.
She divorced him in 1999.
Food's too spicy.
Right. Now he's an older gentleman. He's out. By the way, this guy has always to everyone else's eyes, loosely been involved in like syndicate criminal activity.
Oh, yeah.
He was known, like when I say loosely, it means everyone in the locker room knew that he was the muscle for a gang. Like he was just, he would go play fight during the day and then at night go fucking actually fuck niggas up. I think that's why he got kicked out. People knew that. Anyway, so this dude got married a 3rd time. It just said, when I looked it up, it just said 2008. It just
no notes.
I think it's
housing crisis.
It stopped in the same year.
Katrina.
Okay, then this guy doesn't get married again until 2022.
Oh my God.
Okay, he doesn't get married again until 2022. He marries, let me make sure I get this right. Where did I put this at? This lady is 83 years old.
How old is he?
He's 71 right now, so he had to be 69.
She's a cradle robber, isn't she?
Right. Okay, so he's... I don't understand the thinking behind that. I guess if you're both old people, like is old just old once you get over like...
I mean, like as soon as you hit 65, what are numbers anymore?
Once you guys both get
I'd say 72. What are we doing?
Nah, once you both get early bird specials, anything after that, there's the pre and post early bird special.
Yeah.
Senior, once you get Medicaid, it's like, come on.
As soon as you have to like make serious decisions around your day about like getting up from the couch, just being like...
I only got 2 of these. How am I going to use them?
Yeah, I got like 5 of these today. Maybe 6 if I take my pills.
If my knee cooperates.
Yeah.
Okay, but then that marriage ended.
The 2022 one?
The 2022 one ended.
Can't keep a Rolling Stone down, dude.
Ended.
He's a lover.
And, he's a fighter. It ended in 2024.
His fighting is loving.
Because he got in a 2-hour-long standoff with Portland PD because he shot his 85-year-old dementia-riddled wife in the head.
Oh, God was going to do that soon. You couldn't really wait for the buzzer?
When he married her, she already had diagnosed chronic onset dementia.
You can take her out with an Orbeez gun. You don't gotta fucking...
So this guy completely spilled his cookies. And neighbors reported that they heard multiple gunshots. He shot this lady in the fucking head, got into it too, which I don't get.
If she shot the gun, she would have died.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You don't gotta shoot her multiple times, man.
Shoots this lady in the fucking scalp. Then he gets holed up in the because they don't know she's dead, which is the only reason they didn't just kick in the door and fucking light this guy up. This happened like 3 months ago.
Damn.
At the age of 71. He shot this lady in the head, and it doesn't end there. All right, so he's in jail right now, gonna get fucking sentenced for murder, definitely locked up for the rest of his life. But
is this how we start his GoFundMe?
Oh yeah, bro, fucking free Billy the Kid.
Free Billy the Kid.
Billy Jack Haynes. Okay, and then this is where it gets crazy. All right, in 2014, he came out and said that he witnessed the murder of 3 young boys on a train track in Arkansas.
Question.
Yeah.
Did he put the kids on the track?
Yes.
Did he?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right. So this is what he said. Right. So he claims he was a enforcer for a gang, like not a gang, a fucking criminal syndicate in Arkansas.
Yeah, like a whole underworld.
He got paid because there were these dirty cops that were robbing the drops, and the drops could be sometimes up to $2 million worth of drugs or $2 million just dollars in a fucking sack.
Yeah,
and these dirty cops were taking it, selling it back to a different criminal syndicate that was buying it at a cut or just keeping the money for themselves.
Yeah.
So Billy Jack, I like Billy Jack. Billy Jack gets fucking hot. I might name my kid Billy Jack. Yeah. Billy Jack gets hired to come down and fucking kill these 2 cops that keep fucking with the drop.
Okay.
He comes down. The 2 cops are there while the drop's going on, but like nothing, they don't fuck with the drop because Billy's there with the fucking sheriff who's also dirty, but dirty on his side. Billy's there in gloves and a fucking ski mask, so the other dirty cops are there in a car. They're like, yo, they're like, yo, what the fuck's going on? So all these, there's the sergeant, there's fucking Billy Jack, and there's these 2 other cops. They're all watching an illegal criminal like drop happen, and no one's doing anything because they know they can't, because if they bust this, like no one makes any more money. So they're all sitting there. Unbeknownst to them, there's 3 fucking kids watching everything happen. Oh. Wrong place. And this is I have a clip, an interview clip. That's where I pulled that. He literally was like, yeah, man, they were just in the wrong place, wrong time. But he says he said he didn't kill him. He's like, I did not kill those fucking kids. What he claimed happened was they
fell on rope and then tied themselves up in it.
The sheriff left after, so the drop happened. So there's no more valuables there anymore. Sheriff leaves because the valuables are gone. Billy Jack's still there. The 2 cops are still there, and the kids.
Yeah.
The fucking Billy Jack goes up and starts talking to these cops because they know why he's there, but they don't know who he is. And then the 2 cops are like, we have to take care of these fucking kids. No witnesses. So this is what he said. He said the cops go up to the kids and bash their heads in with their fucking the end of their flashlights.
Oh, damn.
And murk these 3 kids. This is what he says.
He also shot his wife of 83 in the face.
Which leads me to believe that he also murdered 3 kids in the fucking 80s and just...
And like what? Treated them like a damsel in distress and tied them to railroad tracks?
But this is where the thing gets even fucking... It gets even deeper because they fucking... This is what he said. He said that the kids died. He didn't kill any of them, but he said he was an accomplice because he just didn't do anything. He was just like... He admits. He's like, yeah, I fucking am basically no different than them, whatever, which I think is his own way of just like... He can't fully bring himself to the truth, but he's like, I can believe that lie. If I if I still feel the guilt without actually,
I'm good on that.
Right. And so then they put the part of the story that doesn't make sense is they then put the kids in bags and put the bags on the train track so that it would look like
they're just running over bags or something. Yeah.
But the problem is, how the fuck did the kid? And the other part was.
Why did they have kid-sized bags?
The original autopsy that came out, and this is in the 80s again, saying these cops are dirty. In the police report, it said that it smelled like marijuana and there were roaches on the ground. The original autopsy said that the kids OD'd on marijuana. These kids are ages from like 11 to 13.
I mean, sometimes you just go outside and try to smoke weed with your friends, but you end up just zipping yourself up in bags and laying on the train track.
That's the part that doesn't make sense. The autopsy was fucking out.
You know how you hotbox a body bag on the train tracks?
Yeah, like jumping in a fucking Brawny and just seeing how hot how hot I can get it. No, Brawny's a paper towel. What's the trash bag?
I don't know.
Downy? No, it's not the paper towel. I only know cotton.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I was about to say, holy shit.
Welcome to the Apes, folks. How you doing?
Yeah.
Patent pending. But then it gets even crazier, right? Because they put those kids on. The autopsy came out, said that it was a marijuana OD. These kids, all 3, just happened to fall asleep on the track. Then the autopsy gets fucking reversed, and they find bullet wounds in the kids. So someone shot a fucking gun.
That's insane.
Someone shot a gun.
The fact that these kids would OD on marijuana and while doing it shoot themselves
sacrifice style
multiple times.
The last kid had to
just to frame some innocent cops.
And then so
that's ridiculous.
And they call the story.
This is why the deodorant is locked up.
That's fucked up. And they call the story "The Kids on the Track."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fucking great mixtape.
The Kids on the Track.
Fantastic mixtape.
Listen, their follow up EP.
The boys saw some shit and then we died. It was really sick.
And they never found the killer. The case is still open.
I think we found him.
Right? Okay, so that's where I come to this clip. Now,
So this clip is going to be brought into.
I'll cut
this is
this
what
in.
you sent me earlier today.
Yeah, so this is Billy Jack on a podcast now in 2014 because I guess
Billy Jack looks like a small Swedish boy.
he looks like Hansel.
He does look. He looks like a grown-up Hansel. Hansel saw some shit.
Yeah, they're so old.
He shot Gretel in the head.
He murked Gretel and blamed it on the local
She
PD.
dead.
He blamed it on local Forest PD. No one was blamed though.
Yeah, you thought that witch was bad news.
So this guy basically he goes on this podcast to say, I didn't do it. This is where I heard the story of him saying that they bashed that the cops are the ones who bashed cops' head. By the way, they asked him to name the cops. He goes, never got names on the guys. Okay. Never got names on the guys.
They kind of have a shirt that says it.
And this is the mindset he's taking. He's not taking the mindset of like, well, I'm just here
Is this the same clip you showed me?
Yeah. But now that you kind of know what you know, he's taking the stance of like, I don't give a fuck. I'll tell my truth. I'm not scared of shit. You can come get me.
He does drop a personal bombshell.
He said, well, are you scared? Well, have I ever been scared? Fuck no. I've never been scared of nothing in my life. When you're raped at 4 years old, you're scared of nothing. I could take 1,000 showers and not be clean. I still feel something in my butt. That's just the way it is, man. You know? I'm not afraid of nothing. They want to come after me, after me.
So I get the sentiment of what he's saying, but it's so crazy to me.
I mean, it is not that.
I'm not scared of armored thugs.
Way to trauma dump. Also, I mean, like, I can go on any roller coaster. I was raped. 4 years old, something in my ass. Can you imagine that? Tower terror? Nothing.
Yeah, it's
Easy
like,
street.
Grandpa, are you too scared to go on Space Mountain? Son, you ever had your asshole licked by your uncle? I ain't scared of shit.
Grandpa, that's a blazing wing challenge. You can't do that. Son, you've been raped.
It's crazy to just drop that to be like, because the question he asked, he's like, well, are you scared that maybe some guys
Son, when
will...
I was your age, I was raped uphill both ways in the snow.
Like, could you imagine that? That's basically that's like the Irishman, like where like it's a bunch of retired thugs and they're just like, yeah, you know, the game might still catch up to me, but their reason was never because they got plugged as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I thought, because I saw that clip earlier today, so I thought a definite significant portion of this story would be about him getting butt fucked.
Absolutely nothing. It's a fun and then happened.
Yeah.
PS on the very end.
Yeah, a fun anecdote.
Yeah, PS. This guy got worn like a sock, and in his mind, that's why all this happened.
Bo. Present meet Bo.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my story. Billy Jack Haynes.
Oh, really? Is that it?
Billy Jack Haynes.
Okay, so mine is a touch different. Mine is of so you know obviously older wrestling. You know Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Bret the Hitman.
And his brother Owen Hart.
R.I.P. to the brother. Are you doing the fucking the screw job?
Nobody talks about the dad.
There's a father?
Stu Hart.
That's such a great father name.
Take a big bowl of stew, baby.
What is Stu Hart up to? You know it's not
Stu
good.
Hart is kind of the fucking man.
No, actually, the Harts were pretty chill. I don't see there being a
Stu
bad...
Hart was kind of a wild guy, a little bit.
Well,
he wasn't fucking tying up children and putting them on train tracks. I will say that.
All right.
All right. So, as a boy, Stu Hart lived in a tent with his family in a prairie in Alberta, living off the land, milking cows, and Stu took it upon himself to hunt for food with a slingshot.
It's literally fucking fuck. Someone literally commented his name, and then I forgot his name on the Patreon. The fucking
Oh, Wild Thornberries.
he's that Donnie. His name's Donnie.
No, it's literally a small, not small dude. pray to God Donnie doesn't get as big as this dude.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I don't. Let me look up his exact measurements.
Because
I don't
his
think
kids are thick.
his kids are thick.
Brett
yeah.
and Owen Hart are thick motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And this nigga's an Albertan.
Yeah, Stu Hart grew up to be. He was 5'11", 230 pounds.
That's a thick kid. That's a stout motherfucker.
That is, he is stout.
Yeah.
He was looked down
big
upon
Stu.
for being poor and forced to learn how to write.
Some things never change. It's never acceptable to
No,
be a
he was
broke bitch.
forced to learn how to write right-handed because being left-handed at the
Meant you
time
were retarded.
was a stigma. So then he became ambidextrous,
Yeah,
so he can write with both hands.
That's a real thing. They used to be like, hey, you hear about you hear about the Hart boy Stu? Left-handed.
So his father in Canada didn't love paying taxes. So he got arrested.
Tax evasion?
For not paying taxes. And the Salvation Army sent Stu, his mother, and two sisters, Sylvester and Edry, to live in Edmonton, which I didn't know the Salvation Army was an actual, like, fundamental thing that you could use for assistance and not just a clothing store filled with, like, ex-heroin addicts' clothes.
I didn't even know it was a clothing store. I thought it was just the thing that the NFL guys jump in the bucket during the holiday games.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was.
They did something at one point.
Yeah. They were, I think they also scammed
Yeah.
niggas as well.
So, fun fact about the Hart family. So, they moved to Edmonton during the Great Depression.
And we now know there's a fat difference between Calgary, Alberta, and Edmonton.
Yeah, we do know that. And it's Calgary.
Fucking Calgary, you hosers.
Yeah. So they moved to a Great Depression Edmonton after his father got arrested.
What does that look like?
Apparently not much to him because he's already been so poor it doesn't matter. He went about as usual, dude.
Oh man, life in the Big Tent, huh?
Yeah, for real. I think he got a bigger tent. So he started weightlifting and training wrestling when he was 14 years old and quickly built a strong neck and impressive arms.
Why is that?
Which the guy who wrote this article is queerly rubbing his jeans, thinking about Stu Hart.
It is pretty sick to see, like, which by the way, this is a fun going on a wrestler forum websites to do research.
It's insane.
It's the scariest place I've ever been in my life. You guys are fucking freaks, dog.
Yeah, so at 14, he began attending wrestling classes when he joined the YMCA in Edmonton in 1929 and soon became a very talented grappler. 1 year later, he won 2 championships in the same year.
Oh, so they're just like legit niggas across the board.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I think I'm pretty good at this. Snaps a guy's neck.
Yeah, so Hart continued to train and improve his abilities, but by 1937, he was the Dominion welterweight champion and won a gold medal in the welterweight class from the Amateur Athletic Union of Canada.
And this is not pro wrestling, right? This is wrestling?
Yeah, this is actual legitimate
Is he
grappling
doing,
and wrestling.
does it say freestyle or Greco-Roman or anything?
He had it was a snatch technique that he had. It was like very like the low level it's like where your head is down and it's very like grappling on the head and shoulders. He said that he used to be he wouldn't be done in grappling class when he was like training. He wouldn't be done until his face turned blue. From
Jesus.
being like down there.
Yeah,
and shit like
Stu's
that.
a badass.
Yeah, so also this is what I think you'll like about it. You're gonna like everything about this guy.
Come on, Stu.
He was an also all around outstanding athlete.
Isn't it weird that we kind of did stories that you think the other person would do?
Yeah.
I did a mass murderer, and you're like, this guy's a pretty chill alpha dude.
Yeah, he played virtually every sport available.
This guy's just He-Man. He's just bored.
Excelling at football, baseball, and fastball, notably.
Stu.
Fastball, no idea what that is. It sounds like baseball, but faster.
It sounds like, yeah, baseball, but like you can't be gay about it and throw curveballs. It's just high heat.
Hart actually played professionally for the Edmonton Eskimos football team in 1937.
You're telling me Stu won a Grey Cup?
He played from 1937 to 1939 as a center and was considered a standout performer at the time. Hart had initially been slated for the 1941 season, but declined because he had other shit going on. He's Stu Hart, dude.
Wait, no, you know who has a similar story to that? You know the Duck Dynasty guys?
Yeah.
Their dad played quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers and started over Terry Bradshaw, but had to miss training camp because duck season. And then he lost his starting job and just said, I want to go hunting.
I'm going to make a duck call that will make me
So much more money.
Yeah.
And he just quit pro football to duck hunt. Sounds like this guy had a similar thing going on.
Dude, watching him watch out of the Steelers doors is like, it'll never work.
Hey, like, all right, retard.
And then he goes, wah, wah, I got something.
He goes right out to a tent out front of the stadium and just sits there.
Yeah. So during that time, he also coached women's fastball team in Edmonton during the 1930s, as well being the captain of a popular baseball team that he started called Hearts All-Stars.
It is a pretty sweet last name. I thought it was fake for a while, too.
Yeah, the players of Hearts All-Stars consisted of sheet metal workers from Edmonton, whom he trained himself.
He's just a fucking man.
Yeah.
There's men, and then there's Stu Hart.
So
I'm sad he lost a son. God damn.
Yeah, it blows. His amateur career peaked in May of 1940 when Hart won the Dominion Amateur Wrestling Championship in the lightweight heavy category. Hart qualified and would have competed in the Summer Olympics in Helsinki in 1940, but but they were canceled because of World War II.
He's an Olympian? Fuck.
He would have been,
All right.
but it fucking hurt him bad because since he was a kid, all he wanted to be was an Olympic athlete. That's all he wanted to be. So after that,
I'm trying to think of what pro wrestling was
this
even
is
like in the 40s.
May of 1940, a year and a half later, on
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, Hart gets hit by a car.
Man,
Yeah.
man, why does good shit always got to happen? or
Hart
bad
is
shit always happen to
almost
good
killed in a bicycle accident, which broke both of his elbows and thumbs and hurt his back severely. The injuries risked ending Hart's athletic career. The accident happened while he was on the way to be with his father, Edward, to celebrate Christmas.
people? How much of a badass do
With
you
the
think
family-
Ed Hart is?
Yeah, dude, Ed Hart is just a stone.
You mean Ed Hardy?
Oh, shit. I love his tiger print tees.
Ooh, shit. That's why.
It'd be so funny going into a 1941 home, middle of World War II. He's wearing a deep V-neck with
that's why
rhinestones
That's why
on
Stu's such a badass. He had to watch his dad bedazzle his own pants. He's like, no.
it. Yeah. So the accident happened while he was on the way to celebrate Christmas with his father when a fire truck drove behind him and forced Hart to swerve to the side of the road when he was hit by another car, which propelled him 30 feet forward.
This is after the first car accident?
No, this is the car accident.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he swerved out for the way for a fire truck, got hit by a car, propelled him 30 feet forward onto the road, and removed a large portion of the skin in the process.
Oh, my. That's an open heart.
Yeah. For real.
All right.
I
That
like-
deserved more.
I
You
like
fucking
it.
looked at me.
It took me a
I'll
second.
never do a pun again. I swear to God. I'll
No,
sit
keep
right-
going because I'm not used to that from you. So
Shut
it
the
takes a
fuck
second. It's like when a dog meows. And I got to be like,
What?
that's not of your nature. During his hospitalization, he was visited by an old neighbor, Al Oming, who enlisted in the Royal Canadian Navy for World War II, and after being released from the hospital, he enlisted as well.
Wait. Who enlisted? Stu?
Stu enlisted
Shut
in the
the
Royal Canadian Navy in World War II.
Stu's a midshipman?
Fresh out of the hospital, just got hit by a car. He's like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the Navy.
Just when you thought Stu couldn't get any cooler, he turns into G.I. Joe and says, why not? Might
Be
as
careful,
well.
he's about to get cooler.
Fuck.
I think he's possibly one of the coolest guys in the world.
Oh, man.
So, also, Al Oming is one of the people when he was, I think he was in the middle or about to get out of the army. He introduced him to the professional wrestling scene in New York City.
So Al Oming's the one who brought us the Hart family?
Yeah, he eventually became a promoter for Stu Hart's own wrestling company. But that's a whole thing. We're getting to that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a businessman?
Yeah, we're getting to
Fucking
that.
Stu might be
So,
the coolest guy.
while enlisted, Hart was appointed to be the director of athletics in the United Canadian Navy. Even though he was fully recovered from his getting hit by a car and he wanted to see the sea, Navy, I wrote that part. The Navy decided to keep him as director of athletics. So he's like, I want to go out there. I want to fight. I want to be a seaman. And they said, hey, no.
Absolutely. We have to fuse your back in 9 places, you retard.
No, at this point, he started wrestling to amuse the other servicemen. He performed regularly before thousands of enlisted men in drill halls. Several of the men he worked with would end up being employed by Hart when he became a promoter later in life.
When you say wrestling, is he wrestling now?
He's not like doing like the no, he's like
actually, like,
legitimate like wrestling.
I guess that would be kind of gay.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of like Navy guys and they're all sitting around. One guy's in spandex.
He spent much of his free time during World War II performing and organizing different sporting events to raise money. So while he was a sailor and the director of athletics, Hart was the leader and member of all the sports teams available to him on the boat.
Honestly, chillest bro I maybe ever heard of, and it's pretty chill to just basically be a PE coach for the Marines.
He is a
Navy.
Marine PE coach.
He's a Marine PE coach.
He's a PE teacher for the Marines. So he was not only the leader, but the member of every sports team on the boat. Most notably, the fastball team and the wrestling team.
Was he married at this time? Did he have a
Not
piece?
yet.
So he's at the same time. There's no doubt in my mind.
And also,
this guy's crushing it.
And also, notably a piece. We'll get to that later.
Of course, Stu's throwing them back.
Yeah. Well, so leader, most notably the fastball team, wrestling team. Hart originally wanted to leave the Navy when the war was over, but the organization considered him to be too great of an asset, both as a trainer and as a showpiece, persuading him to stay. He would attempt to ask to be let go several times later, but was told to stay again. Eventually, Hart was given his discharge from the Navy in early 1946.
If he didn't get an executive producing credit on Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks owes him money. It's literally just like he's a fucking. He started on the street in a fucking tent.
There's such a good part. The whole reason why I found this guy is because it led me down a rabbit hole. I am so excited to get to that part. I cannot tell you.
All right.
So the same year after leaving the service, he traveled to America and debuted professionally for the New York wrestling territory. Early on in wrestling, Hart got messed with a bunch for being a babyface. Basically, like, he was described as, and I quote, tall, dark, and handsome with a build that put movie idols to shame.
And they just want to hate on a good-looking nigga, bro. That's all they do.
He didn't have many fans when he started, but the
course
ones
not.
he did have were all female.
Die hard.
It let him know he was a looker. Hart would often be swarmed by women and covered with kisses as he made his way to the ring.
Dude, I mean, he's already cool, but then, like, he's just a cocksman on top of it and just crushing ass. And I wonder, his color was probably pink. He's probably the one who started that. So then you get the girls.
Color
on the
photos
side.
were not invented yet.
Well, no, but I'm saying like Brett and Owen's colors were pink.
Yeah.
I bet you they got that from him, and I bet you the girls ate that shit up back in the day.
So while in the ring, veterans of the organization tried to fuck Stu up.
All right.
He said, "Hey, you're a babyface. You're a young boy. I'm gonna fuck you up." They don't know
He's Captain America.
he's been wrestling for the Navy legitimately
Fuck all you idiots.
throughout the entirety of World War II.
Yeah.
So they start giving it to him, and he gives it right back.
Right back to their face.
Yeah, Stu, incredible. He would basically utilize his incredible grappling skills to his advantage. Hart was a frequent tag team wrestler together with Lord James Blair's. Blair's and Hart lived together for 6 months with another wrestler named Sandor Kovacs, whom Hart already knew from the Navy. They met there. They used to frequent beaches along Long Beach in New York City, which, by God, imagine you're just a regular dude. It's 1946. You're on the beach in Long Beach trying to fucking spice up some dame, and then goddamn Stu Hart walks past your bitch.
In my head, you know he has a deep voice too. You know he has just like, "What's up, ladies?"
What's up?
Astronaut, doctor, philanthropist, Stu Hart at your service.
Former sailor, actual wrestler. My name is Stu Hart. Are you wet yet? And I only say that because they used to frequent the beaches along there a long time, and that's where he met his wife and her entire family.
I don't know where I thought he was going to meet. I'm sure she's a smoke show. I thought it was going to be like
Helen
something
Smith,
else.
who would eventually become Helen Hart, the mother of...
What a sick name.
Yeah, Helen Hart.
Helen Hart. It's fucking fire.
It's kind of tight, dude. Hart had quickly become a rising star in the area, but chose to leave together with his newly engaged fiance only about a year and a half after debuting his wrestling career.
I thought you were going to say newly gay fiance, and I'm like, damn, that's how he lost the bitch? That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
This is really putting my dyslexia to the test.
I was going to say, watching you try and read is hilarious. You're like,
I'm trying so hard.
You think you should do bullet points, too.
Well, I want to get, because there's like specific notes I want to hit on, and I
Yeah.
want to explain this guy's life because he's the fucking man.
Fucking
So far, everything
Stu's
is
the shit. Stu lives the life that when I go to sleep and I dream, I'm dreaming. I didn't realize I was dreaming Stu Hart's life.
all right. Yeah. No, you were. So from 1947 to 1948, he left debuting at that territory in wrestling, but he's popping around all
What territory was he in again?
He was in New York.
Okay.
So he left New York and started popping around all around the country. So from 1947 to 1948, he traveled all around the country, different territories, and wrestling all the way through them, with women being drawn to the shows everywhere he goes.
Turn me up.
Everywhere he goes. Even when there was a bigger name on the billboard, women showed up directly for a big old bowl of stew.
That's how Seth Rollins is now. There's some guys like that now that are they're not the biggest guy on the roster, but when their music hits, I mean, it gets visibly like humid in the arena. You're like, you got real humans sticky in here, and I don't like it.
Yeah, no. So he's doing a great job wrestling. He's making a lot of money. He's building his name up.
Okay. Doing a great job. And this is where back then, this is before, if I remember correctly, there used to be like 7 major wrestling territories,
yeah.
And they all kind of had it mob style, where it was like, you don't go over there. That's the fucking Corleone family, whatever. And then the McMahons were the ones who fucking took their dicks out and were like, whatever.
This is Stu Hart, though. And he's going around and bebopping between territories, doing his thing. He's made enough money that in 1951, Hart purchased a mansion in Patterson Heights, Calgary.
Okay.
It's called the Hart House. And this is now considered a heritage site in Canadian,
So
government.
It's like no one lives there and they just have the Hart House?
It's basically, I would say, I think you can live there, but it's pretty much like going past a museum. Because in there, they have the dungeon, which provided training for so many wrestling people. So many people came out. Junkyard Dog came out of the dungeon. Like, so many of these guys.
That's where Mark Henry got sent up to. He got sent up to go basically work for the Harts when he got fucking, threatened homicide. They're like, you got to go. Hey, go chill out with the nice Canadians. Stu will get you right up there.
Yeah. So in 1952, dude, this is what I was waiting for. So 1952, Hart bought up the Tillman's territory in Alberta and merged his own promotion with the big time, with like their whole thing into what is called big time wrestling. The promotion would later change its name to Wildcat Wrestling and last morph into the one and only Stampede Wrestling many years later. Stampede Wrestling is like his marquee performance. It's all like...
That's where he was at right before he went... He never went to the WWF, did he?
No. I think he made appearances after he retired and stuff like that.
Because his kids were in the WWF.
Yeah, he's in the WWF Hall of Fame. He's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So, Hart Stampede Wrestling was responsible for developing many wrestlers who would later become very successful in other promotions, such as one tag team known as Terrible Ted and his partner Hercules. So, you hear those two names, right? Terrible Ted
Yeah.
and his partner Hercules.
Yeah, it's Hercules Lopez or whatever. The big nigga. He's huge, right?
So, this is a completely different man. So, this is like 1950s. You won't know these guys. So, Terrible Ted and Hercules were ginormous.
Yeah.
They don't have specific numbers on Hercules, but Terrible Ted was 7 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
And 600 pounds.
Oh, so he's like not even really moving probably. He's just like a fucking
you say
massive human.
You say that, but he wasn't a human. He was a bear.
Yeah, I was going to say 600 pounds, 7 feet
He was
tall.
a tag team bear. That tag team bear couple that Stu would often fight for charity events. He would wrestle two bears
Just for shits and gigs?
on stage.
Yeah, just in dark matches, no TV time, house shows and shit.
Yeah. So they were both bears that that were included in Hart Stampede wrestling shows where Stu would face off against them regularly.
Jesus Christ.
Regularly fighting bears. Not only that's not the only animal he faced off against. He faced off against wild animals regularly, once wrestling a tiger named Chi-Chi for the Calgary Fish and Wildlife Association.
That's funny. It's sanctioned by the government. They're just like, yeah, your Stu's getting in there with a Bengal tiger today. It's like, feel bad for the tiger.
Yeah. And I mean, like, they're friends, you know? Those are friends from work, you know?
Oh, what,
those are
the
two
tiger
friends
and Stu?
Yeah. No, Terrible Ted and Chi-Chi. Those are Those are friends from work, and he treated them like such because Stu had several of his children already at the time, and his daughter recounts that her dad would bring Chi-Chi and Terrible Ted to the house to play with the children.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Just bring him like Chi-Chi. That's not bad. Now, that being said, though, I think this guy lacks, I don't know what it's called, but you know, like when you can't feel pain, you know what that is? Or like there's a word for it, but I think that guy has like something in his brain that doesn't let him, when there's like a high risk situation, he doesn't process like the severity of shit. Because it seems like he just his entire life is like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do that. It's like, you know, you could die. Yeah, fuck it, I'll do that. It's like, you know, you just got flown from a whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter. Put me back in there, coach.
So fun accolades about
Stu.
no, the two little bear brothers,
Okay.
tag team bear couple.
These aren't actually bears, right? These are just giant niggas.
You think I'm kidding?
These are bears?
These are real bears.
Wait. Stu's actually fucking with bears?
You thought I was joking?
I thought it was just a 600-pound, 7-foot guy.
No, I was kind of leading you on, but trying to reveal to you. Damn,
It's a
you're stupid.
Shut up, dumbass. It's
Yeah.
a bear.
No, they're actual real life
I thought
bears.
Chi-Chi was like a big Dominican guy.
Chi-Chi is a real life tiger. Chi-Chi is a real life tiger, and Terrible Ted and Hercules are real life bears.
Oh, dude, but like this is not caveman society. This is the 50s. We knew bears could kill you. Like, what the fuck?
He wrestled a tiger for the Calgary Fish and Wildlife Association.
Part of me wants to still be a hater and be like, I bet you it was declawed. It's like, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
It's basically a muscle. It's a giant muscle hitting you.
Yeah, I take back what I said. Stu's a fucking bad. How do you even wrestle a tiger? How does that work? Because it's not going to tap. It's like and fucking tap out. You just like
I think you just beat up a tiger.
you just first one to fucking touch all four to the mat loses. They have 4 shoulders.
They also have 4 feet. They're always touching all 4 to the mat. It's an instant loss.
But you can see you're fucking stupid because you can't get pinned on your feet, you tard. Your shoulders have to be on the mat. And tigers have 4. Well, I don't know. Would you call those hips or shoulders? What do you call the
Those
high?
are hips. You think they have 4 arms?
Yeah.
It's front legs and back legs. Or paws. I don't know. This isn't about tigers. This is about...
It's about Chi-Chi and fucking Stu.
No, so Terrible Ted,
Okay.
the actual real-life living bear,
Okay.
wrestled for 25 years.
All right. Wait, so he wrestled in like the 70s?
1950 to 75.
How long do bears live?
Pretty old.
I didn't know this. What kind of bear? Like a grizzly bear?
Yeah.
Jesus fuck. All
A
right.
600-pound, 7-foot-tall grizzly bear.
How do you...
In his buddy Hercules. Which also, after retiring, Hercules moved to Scotland and took up acting.
Like for reals?
Yes, the bear for reals took up acting. He appeared in 1983 James Bond movie Octopussy and was named Personality of the Year by the Scottish Tourism Board.
Stu Hart, that's how you know someone's a true legend when they elevate the play of everyone else around them.
Even a bear?
He elevated the bear's acting career and made him a major, like he's a fucking, what'd you say, Swedish Hall of Fame actor?
Scottish.
Scottish. Same, no, not same thing.
Not same thing.
Different whites.
So, so he was fighting actual animals. So Hart was close friends with fellow wrestler This is pretty sad. And also, tell me if this is sus. It feels sus. So Hart was close friends with fellow wrestler Luther Jacob Goodall, better known as Luther Lindsay.
Yeah.
Goodall was one of the few men who bested him in the infamous dungeon. And Hart reportedly carried a photo of him in his wallet until his passing in 2003.
See, and I'm glad you bring this up because I'll tie this into that. How much of your day is consumed by either plotting, spite, or hatred?
We're looking at the photo of you in my wallet.
Because a lot of my day is consumed by just being like, "Grrr," and that guy's a man after my own
Let me
heart,
tell you
no
about
pun
this
intended.
landlord thing ain't helping.
Well, because that's what I totally get that. Just having a guy in your wallet, just being like, he's Dinkelberg.
No,
that's his Dinkelberg.
he loved this guy. His
Oh.
death affected him terribly, and he never got over it until the day he died.
Oh, I thought this nigga got
his
beat.
kids said they were closer than brothers, which makes it feel like gay sex.
It makes it seem like they fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his nuts killed that guy, and Stu Hart definitely took it
Yeah.
up.
So Stampede Wrestling is like premiering shows and stuff like that. They were on Canada's longest. They were Canada's longest-running television program, lasting over 30 years, and remained one of Calgary's most important sports programs, eventually airing in over 50 countries worldwide.
Yeah, they like to say that now. They really flex that Raw is like the longest-running episodic thing on TV. That's like a big flex to wrestling.
Yeah. So Hart trained the vast majority. Trained the vast majority of his trainees in the basement of the Hart Mansion, known as the Dungeon. Hart used the location from the time that he bought it in 1951 until the late 1990s. All 8 of his sons and many others, such as Junkyard Dog.
Excuse me now? This guy has... That's even alpha too, kind of. To just like be like, yeah, dumping broads. What?
Pumping out 8 sons. Dude.
I don't pull out. That's for Gilles. It's just like, all right.
Imagine not being Owen or Brett.
Being like Nick Hart, who's an accountant.
Yeah.
Just like my whole family.
I love painting.
I mean, someone probably has to run the Hart like money.
Yeah. So amongst the people that he trained, Junkyard Dog, Jushin Liger, I don't know, Superstar Billy Graham, and the British Bulldog. Hart's training technique was called stretching, consisted of Hart putting his trainees in painful submission holds and holding them for substantial time to improve their pain endurance. So basically, he would get you somewhere where it hurt, he would keep it there, so you got used to the hurt, and then he would make it hurt more.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess wrestling was a little bit more like physical.
It was to prepare them for WWE.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I guess like wrestling was like pro wrestling was more physical. It's physical now, but like you were doing a real chair shot, like uncovered fucking. That's why half these dudes killed their spouses because they were just getting hit in the head with fucking steel chairs.
So Hart's technique was well known, and he would let anyone who wished to let him apply one of his holds to do so if they came to his home. Hart's son Brett, the Hitman Hart, once spoke about a well-known case where he stretched a priest, stating that his father wasn't prejudiced since he stretched a rabbi once too.
Jesus, yeah, he definitely.
Anyone can get it at the Hart House.
I was gonna say, I think Stu's like operating under prison rules, where he's like so manly he can just fuck bros.
Some of Hart's former students, including his son Brett, have mentioned that his stretching would sometimes result in broken blood vessels in his eyes, something which others have attempted to learn from his father.
Ew.
Gross, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. After selling his territory to Titan Sports Incorporated in 1984, he would make several appearances on WWF television and pay-per-view with his wife, and often involved in storylines with his sons Brett and Owen and several of his sons-in-laws who were signed to the company. He continued to teach wrestling at his home in Calgary until the 1990s, where he suffered a severe leg injury and had to stop engaging excessively with the students.
Stretch too hard.
I know. Got to stretch. You got to stretch for the stretch. Leaving most of the work for his sons, Bruce and Keith.
What a bunch of boring names. Like, you have 8 kids, don't take a swing on one of them. You're just like Brett, Owen, Keith, Bruce, Nick.
Yeah, I mean...
Also, the fact that he has 8 sons is the most manly shit.
Yeah.
Didn't even believe in women. Just said, doesn't matter. There's another
I
one.
don't make them.
I like my steak bleeding. I only make boys.
I only make men. I tried to make a girl, and I made a manlier man.
I thought about it once. Diane made me drink a diet cola before we did it. Didn't matter.
Didn't matter. Shot fucking blue steel through.
I mean, Owen's kind of gay. It's the closest thing we got, but
he fell pretty hard. So in May 2003, Hart had a life-threatening bout of pneumonia, which sent him to the hospital, although Hart recovered later that month and returned to his residence. On October 3rd, 2003, he was readmitted to Rocky View Hospital as a result of an elbow infection. Same elbow that he fucking busted up when he got hit by a car all those years ago, back before Christmas Eve.
Doesn't being old suck? That shit like that can make you fucking... You're in the hospital. It's like, Grandma's in the hospital. What happened? Oh,
yeah, this guy wrestled 2 bears and a tiger, but an elbow infection sent him to the hospital.
Bumped his elbow on the bookshelf and got taken out.
Yeah. He developed pneumonia again after he got the elbow infection. He also suffered from ailments such as diabetes and arthritis, that is a given.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have arthritis.
Yeah, after a brief improvement in his health for a few days, from October 11th, he suffered a stroke on October 15th and died the following day.
That's probably of natural causes.
He was 88 years old.
That's long. In
Yeah.
general, that's really long
Wrestling years?
for a wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Great Dane making it to 15.
Hart's funeral service was attended approximately by 1,000 people.
I was going to say,
He was cremated, and his ashes were later interned at Edenbrook Memorial Gardens in a plot with his wife, Helen, who died almost 2 years earlier in 2001 in the 9/11 World Trade Center attacks.
what?
Yeah, dude.
They're the... Damn, everything in life is a balance because you literally can't be Superman and have no trauma in your life.
I'm
It's like,
kidding.
oh, okay.
She died in November.
I mean,
as soon as I saw 2001, I'm like, September.
it made sense. I'm like, this guy's lived the coolest life ever. It would only make sense that his son gets dropped from the ceiling.
Look at his wife died in 9/11.
They for sure killed his
Only
son, too.
Hallmark events.
Yeah. There's a conspiracy. They killed Owen Hart.
How?
Well, they dropped him from a ceiling on
I mean,
purpose.
yeah. I guess the question I should have asked is why.
Because Vince McMahon's the devil personified and kills people for shits and gigs.
I don't think he's ever killed another person.
He dropped a guy. This thing's on, right? He dropped a guy from the ceiling and shit on a lady's chest.
They're two different things. They're two very different things.
Honestly,
Where are we at?
We're like, that was like 50 minutes if I'm lowballing.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was good. And then we would switch into like just bullshit catching up. We'd probably do a little fun, like, I don't know, Patreon second read or something, and then get into the, I don't know, just like bullshit catching up that doesn't have anything to do with history or stories or murderers or the coolest guy I've ever heard of in my life.
It's too hard, dude.
That's sick.
Big old glass of stew.
Yeah. But this is going to be on the Patreon. This is going to be on probably the $1 McBaller level, just so you can keep up with it. But little fun, I guess, tidbit to keep you guys up to date on what's going on. We're taking a hiatus because we're rebranding, obviously. But the reason that we're not just immediately pumping out like this isn't going on the public is because we're trying to line up a really above our pay grade fucking studio that's associated with the stand. It's like right around the corner. We went and toured it last night. It's where Lorde recorded her like 2 big albums. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we have sort of an audition thing kind of on Monday where we have to not look like fucking buffoons. So you did get to see us kind of work out the kinks. It will get better. We're going to do a guest episode with Andrew on Saturday to work it out before we do it. But then hopefully, I mean, we'll get some form of that. It'll help secure bigger guests. We'll grow it, yada, yada. You know how it works. But tell a friend about the cast. Stay tuned to the Patreon. Stay fucking up to date on here.
Wishy mushy.
See you guys later.